right, welcome back to the Closing Room AZ. I'm your host, Jesse Moreno, realtor and investor, and your go-to resource for all your real estate needs. Before I introduce my guest for the day, let me say this. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, you're exactly where you need to be. So here at the Closing Room AZ, we keep it simple. It's all about straight talk, zero fluff, and real-world advice that you could use in any of your real estate transactions when the time comes. Just a quick shout out as well to our sponsor of the day, which is Driggs Title. They have multiple locations. They are in Arizona and Nevada as well. Drake has closed over 200,000 transactions since 2007. So that speaks volumes about this company. They deliver high-level escrow experience from start to finish, supporting both realtors, investors, home buyers alike. So they can help you through every step of the way. So reach out to them. They are a professional team. They're here to help you out with every closing that you may have. Best way to reach them is driggstitle.com or give them a call at 602-589-5300. So, thank you for being here. There's a lot of great information. Make sure you guys stick around because at the end of the podcast, I'm going to have Greg provide you some information that you guys are going to need to help you with your business if you're a realtor or if you're a homeowner or if you're looking for any type of service that he provides that we're going to dive into in a second. He's going to be giving you that information at the end. So stick around to the end and we'll get that to you. All right. So today we have Greg Robinson, founder, owner of Superfly Drone Imaging.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the Closing Room.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. My pleasure. So let me just a quick intro about Greg here. He specializes in drone photography, aerial video, as well as professional interior real estate photography. Am I missing anything?
No, you covered it pretty much.
Did I?
Real estate world. Yeah,
all right.
Absolutely.
So, you got a full product line of things that you offer, or, I don't know, I'm calling it product line, but maybe services, a full line of services that you offer
Yes, sir.
in this field. So we're going to jump in there. I do have some questions because I want the listeners to kind of know who you are and how you started that business and stuff like that. So we're going to dive into it. And we're going to try to stay on track on this. And by the way, I want everyone to know that in case we don't get through all the questions, we will have a part 2. So you got to get back on in case it happens because we do have a lot of great info. And this is going to be great information for not just the home buyer or the home owner who's looking to sell the property and market their home, but for the realtor. Because as a realtor, I got to tell you, as I was digging into his business and I did a little bit of research before we kind of got this podcast going, and I said, man, there's things I did not know about. So hopefully the questions I'm going to ask him are in line, and hopefully I was on target with my investigation of what he does.
Right.
All right, man. Well, let's talk a little bit about your background. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I was born and raised in Northern California. Moved to Arizona in '91. Worked in the technology field for the longest time.
Okay.
So had that bug for quite a while since '91. And then I've decided that I wanted to do voiceovers. You know how you always have those people who say, hey, you have a great voice. You should do voiceovers. And I thought, well, yeah, sure. But then I decided, okay, well, let's do it. So I've been doing that for about 4 or 5 years for different companies and things like that. So one client said, hey, you know what? I have this reel of some real estate that I need just some voiceover stuff, just describe what's going on. So I did that, and I said to myself, hey, wait a minute, I can do this. I can provide full service, right, for clients. So I developed Superfly Drone Imaging, and we do everything, as you mentioned, interior real estate photos and videos, walkthroughs as well, and a bunch of other services that we'll get into later. But so that's kind of what I've been doing. My wife, Jody, has been kind enough to support me while I'm getting this stuff going. So I'm really happy about that. So it's a good business, and I'm happy to be here.
All right, cool. Hey, when did you realize that this particular business that you ran was ideal for us realtors?
Jesse, I decided that I saw a lot of realtors. I look at listings all the time, and I saw a lot of phone pictures for listings and things like that.
Yeah. Guilty. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
and
we do it all the time.
That's okay. That's okay. But here's the issue: is we have an abundance of real estate agents out there, and clients are looking through pictures,
Right.
and they see phone pictures all the time. What grabs them are the professional pictures that look good, have the correct setup and everything, great pictures. That's going to grab their attention. They're going
Right.
to stop at that and go, "Hey, wait a minute, let me check this house out. Maybe this is something I like the pictures." So I said to myself, you know what, I can do that. I'm not the only person that obviously that does it, but I feel like I've got a good eye for this type of thing.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, in today's world, man, it seems like every buyer is shopping online, and they do. I mean, they're shopping online, but the visuals of what they see online on these properties is what grabs their attention, right? What decides, it's that decision that they're like, hey, I want to go see this home.
Correct.
It's the pictures.
Yep.
And there's got to be a service out there that's going to elevate those pictures more so than what you see. Because I'll tell you what, you mentioned a bit ago that, a lot of times there's a lot of photo pictures by the phones, right? And we're like, hey, I've got an iPhone that takes these fantastic pictures, iPhone or Samsung, whatever you want.
Right.
You're bragging about how great your picture is, but there's nothing like a professional picture by a professional person that knows exactly how to take it based on the lighting,
Right.
the angles and stuff
Right.
like that. And I don't want to get too far ahead of myself because
Sure.
I'm going to ask you some questions on that area
Sure.
as well, right?
Sure, yeah.
But, in today's market, visual photography or drone for imagery, I guess drone videography
Yeah, uh-huh.
is going to be key for a listing, a property that you want to promote and market out there. Any particular way of when you're taking pictures, is there anything that you focus on? Like when you're out there, taking pictures of somebody's property, is there anything that you focus for?
Well,
Because first impression is everything.
that's correct. That's correct. So I have kind of an example that I want to put out there.
Okay.
Let's just say, for instance, you're into cars. You like cars. You go to Auto Trader. You're always looking through them and stuff like that. You see a car, and it's got phone pictures on it. Yeah, that looks good. That's nice. But then you turn the page and you see a different car, same kind of make and everything, but it's got professional pictures taken.
Right.
You can see the gleam. You can see the angles. You can see all that stuff on that car. Which one are you going to go for?
Yeah, the one that has
The
all
pictures
the pictures. Yeah,
that
the one that's
pulled
gonna,
you in and said,
absolutely.
you know what, I want to see that. So that's kind of how we look at it or how I look at it as far as going out and taking pictures and stuff like that. I want to consider myself, I look at it from the client's perspective. What do I want to see if I'm looking at something, looking at homes? I want to see quality pictures that show me details
Right.
of the interiors and what the house looks like on the land and maybe even the neighborhood, right?
Sure.
You want to know where you're going to be living, what area it looks like. So
Right.
that's kind of what we take into consideration when we go out there and
Right.
take photos.
Man, I tell you, Greg, you're answering some of the questions, and you're answering some of the questions I want to ask you. And I'm like, man, how am I going to ask him the next question? Because he's just answering. You're going right through
I'm
it.
going to slow down a little bit here.
You say, no, you're doing great. I mean, look, when it comes to interior photography versus cell phones, I get it, right? And there's problems too when you're doing some videography with your cell phone because you got the shakiness. And there's a lot of promos out there, buy this tool and this and that, and stabilizers and blah, 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 whatever.
Right.
But you can do all that, but that doesn't mean you got the skill on how to take those pictures in the right way, and
That's
the right
correct.
angles and the right lighting and so forth, right?
That's
So my question is, what's the biggest difference between phone photos versus a professional interior photography?
Okay, so phone photos, I'm going to take my phone inside of a house and I'm going to take pictures, maybe some video, stuff like that. Like you said, kind of rocky, lines aren't level, all that kind of stuff. That's the difference between using a phone and using a professional camera on a tripod that's leveled. There's something that we do called stacking, HDR stacking, and I won't get into too much of that, but that allows the picture to look really crisp when it's applied. So we do that. Like you said, we know the angles to go for. Not just walk in a room, go, oh, there, take
Right.
a picture. We
Right.
know where to sit at the tripod to make sure the picture brings out the best in that particular area.
Gotcha. Any common mistakes that you see? You mentioned earlier you look at a lot of properties as well online. You jump on different sites, but any common mistakes that you see from agents when they're shooting their own photos that you're like, what are they making mistakes on? And write this down, you guys. So don't make those mistakes. No, I'm kidding. Let's
or
go on.
just don't do it and have me do it. There you go.
Right. You're like, I'm not going to share that part, man. I can't give it away. Can't give that away. No.
No,
But,
what I normally see is just bad framing. You know, it's either got part of a room, or it's not straight, or
Right.
Or just the quality is not there. And I'm not saying everybody does that. Some people take really good phone pictures and place them in their MLS, but for the majority of them, it's almost second nature. I shouldn't say second nature. Second thought. It's like, I'm trying to sell this house. Okay, let me run through and take some pictures real quick, and then get it posted on MLS as soon as I can. Well, that's kind of doing the seller a disservice, because they're expecting the real estate agent to put forth the best product that they can. And if you are going to just take pictures with your phone and not take the time to really square up those images and everything and make it look great, then, you know, that person, that buyer, might just move right on to the next house instead of buying the house that you're trying to sell.
sure, makes sense.
So,
That makes sense. You know, and now we have the power of the drone photography, right?
yes,
We know that aerial visuals tell the full property story, which is key.
right?
So I got a question for you on that, because I was thinking about, you know, drone photography, and I've been seeing them lately around the neighborhoods as well, whether they're using it for professional services or just people just grew up
Recreational.
recreational, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But how does a drone footage, how does that show the traditional? Well, let me rephrase this. So what does drone footage show that traditional photos can't show?
Okay. Well, drone footage shows it's more of a cinematic thing if you do
Okay.
it properly. Traditional photos, yes, you can walk around the house again with your camera or your phone and take pictures and stuff like that, and maybe some video, but it's going to be shaky. The transitions are going to be sharp and not, or I shouldn't say sharp, but just very unprofessional. Drone photography, because of the fact that the drone is flying, it's floating in the air, and with the proper control, we've got gimbal mechanism and all that kind of stuff, where we can give smooth transitions.
I was going to ask you
through
that.
that.
So it's also pretty stable.
Oh yeah,
Even
absolutely.
if it's a little breezy, windy up there, it's
Drone technology today is fantastic. It allows you to do so much stuff, and I tell people, in order to crash a drone that's made today, you have to try to crash it. You
Really?
do. You really do. So I'm not
All
saying
right.
it's impossible, but I'm saying you know, you have to really work at it to try to crash it. So
yeah. You know, I've got one. Believe it or not, I bought one a while back, and hardly ever use it because I'm worried about taking it up and doing something. And I don't, you know, I didn't buy it for my business, to be honest with you. I just bought it just to
yeah,
goof with it and have my kids play with it.
sure.
But man, it's a little bit nerve wracking. I had one, the one that I have now. I took it up one time and I flew it out almost a few miles out from where I live. I think, I kid you not, it must have gone out maybe 2 miles.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, I hope this thing doesn't drop somewhere and doesn't fall.
Right.
Right, I was a little
Right.
worried, but I did notice there was something on my drone that it had like an automatic
Return to
return. Yeah, return home.
home. Mm-hmm.
So I just it went out. And I think it went far enough where it recognized you can't go that far out, and just it came right back.
Yep. Yeah.
It didn't land automatically. I landed it, but it did come back, and I saw it,
Right.
and I said, "Well, let's bring it down to the ground." And I ain't messing with this thing no more. I'm not gonna take no picture with it either. Screw
Right.
this.
Yeah. There's some issues with flying drones these days. It is, and again, I don't know if there's something we're going to get into later, but you need to be careful. That's all I'm going to say at this point. And you got to be careful. Just because you can fly a drone doesn't necessarily mean that you know all the rules and regulations
Right.
to flying a drone. And I've ran into situations where I've talked to real estate agents and they said, "Oh no, my dad's doing my drone photography for me," or "My brother," or "I've got a friend who does it," or whatever. And I get around to saying, well, okay, that's cool as long as they're licensed, that's great. And
Don't even go there yet. No.
right.
I'm going to be asking you that question. It's coming up.
I know. All right. So
No, I'm going to ask you that. And you know what? I did some research on licensing, but we're gonna jump into that on our second part of our podcast. Okay, I think because we got a lot more to cover.
Absolutely.
We haven't even tapped into the interior part of photography and stuff like that. We're at the drone part of it at the moment. But yeah, I did some research on that, and I had some questions. And I said to myself, well, you know what? When you show up, when we talk about this, I'm going to ask you, and I could be wrong on what I found out. I don't know, but you're the expert, and you're going to tell me here in a minute.
I'll answer it if I can.
So we'll come back to our part 2 of our podcast here in a minute. But for now, let's provide your information, because in case for those listeners that might get caught up with something else and don't got a chance to come back, what's the best way to reach you?
Superflydroneimaging.com. All one word, superflydroneimaging.com. That goes to our website. And
contact numbers on that site?
Numbers on that site. My direct number is 602-598-5580.
Okay.
You can contact me at any time, day or night. We want to help you guys get the best photography for your properties.
All right, awesome. Well, I appreciate that. And you guys could also on the bottom of my podcast, there'll be a link to his site as well, and my information. So if you can't reach him, you can always reach out to me, and we'll make sure we get a hold of Gray, and he can help you out.
Awesome.
He's got some great services. There's a lot more behind this, so stay tuned for part 2. You guys got to come back, because you're going to miss out if you don't on the importance that I found out about having the right people flying these drones, and how it's going to protect you, the homeowner, the realtor, and of course, overall, the experience. So it's important that you guys get back on part 2 of our podcast here. But until then, thank you guys for hanging out with us. It's been a pleasure having you on the podcast on our part 1.
Sure.
And thank you, listeners, for being here as well. If you guys have any questions, you want us to chat on something different, or there's a different topic that you want me to go after, let me know what it is. Hit me up with a DM on my Instagram site. It's the closing room AZ, all one word, right? The closing room AZ on Instagram, or of course on my YouTube video. Just click on the bottom, put me down what you want to talk about, what you want to hear, and I'll bring in some speakers, or if I could share information about real estate, let me know, whatever it may be, and I will take care of that for you guys. Other than that, thanks for hanging out today. Until next time, have a blessed week, and remember, set no limits.